Sabine ISD will achieve a standard of excellence beyond our wildest imagination in 2025 because we will not only envision, but we will live it. We will be enlightened by it, and we'll pass the torch.
Big thanks to Practice Plan for allowing us to use their booth today. If you are needing revenue in quick and efficient manner, you need to reach out to Practice Plan. Easy, seamless facility rental. Thank you to John and the team for allowing us to be here. Welcome back to another episode of The Path Forward. We're here, tacit midwinter 2025, Austin, Texas. And my guest needs no introduction. He is the leader, the superintendent, West Sabine ISD, Dr. Carnelius Gilder. Y'all know him, y'all love him, y'all request him every time I do a podcast. Welcome to the show, Dr. Gilder.
Hey man, thank you, Doc. It's so great to be here. And 2025's Midwinter seems to be a great meeting. There's a lot of good energy going on today, and I'm right in the vibe. I feel like I'm in the nucleus. So I'm glad to be here in this mix. Always great to be here with Podcast Architects. The Path Forward is the place to be.
Well, you make it the place to be because I have so much fun, hearing about West Sabine, what you've been doing, and more to my what I love is your innovative spirit and your partnership. So, how are things going in West Sabine?
So things are going well. So years ago, when we first rebranded the district, we chose 4 core values to live by. Mm-hmm. And we are now kind of residing in the 4th one, which is consistency. So right now, not a lot of brand new ahas, but really relying on the things that we had put in place, testing the resiliency of what we had chosen, mm-hmm. and trying to make sure that it works for kids and still reaches all of our student populations, our demographics, our sub-pops, and just making things work. Because again, our theme word is excellence, right? Mm-hmm. Our mission is intentional excellence by any measure, but the only way you get to excellence is doing small, great things all of the time and allowing them to comprehensively make up that mode. So,
that's an interesting point, because having some conversations with some aspiring superintendents, the question was raised: how do you balance your understanding of how you need to keep something in place versus strategic abandonment? When is the right time to do something new or to see the process through? From your experience, how do you judge that?
So I judge it from student life. First things first, if I see kids floundering or drowning, that's an immediate stop. Halt. We need to come and bring our stakeholders to the table. And notice I said stakeholders, because that may include teachers if it's a programmatic, that may include directors who supervise such programs, that may even include parents, so we can really learn the climate of what's going on with our kids, as well as the principals and so forth. But one of the things that I like to watch is study the data. The mm-hmm. data doesn't lie. And so if you notice that your data is growing or isn't growing, or if it's flatlining, let's go back and take a look to see what fidelity we have in place.
Sure.
But then if that's the case, if the fidelity's there, then maybe have we just maxed out?
Okay. So it may not be anything necessarily wrong. It may just be we've reached the level of potential that we can, and we've got to adjust. And so with that, you will find that some things have concurrent progression. And so with that being said, for instance, with literacy, we looked at some stuff a few years ago, and we noticed that what we were using, it grew our kids immediately and fast. But on the back end, they capped. They hit a glass ceiling. Really?
And so we had to bring in some more programmatic pieces to reach our GT kids, to reach our special ed kids, to reach our kids as far as Tier 2 was concerned. But then what happened in the meantime is they started abandoning the foundation program. And so now we've had to go backward and reinstitute the foundational program. So now we have all this fast growth. So the issue that we were having, and reflection opens that up. We have to go with the ebbs and the flows. We have to gauge when to start this, when to start that program, what works for which sub pop, and reach everybody. Again, it's differentiation at its finest.
How did you learn that? And because you just succinctly put that better than I've heard in a long time. That's not a skill set that you don't find that in your leadership cohorts and your different programs to train to prepare you for the job. What about your experiences either taught you that, or how do you grow that skill set?
So I'm gonna say this.
What are you laughing at? You laughing at me?
No, I have a thought in my head.
Okay.
So in my house, when I was a small child, many moons ago, my grandfather helped raise me.
Okay.
And my mom was his youngest child. She's the youngest of 6. And of course, since she's the youngest, I'm almost the youngest grandchild. He was already 70 when I was born. So I have cousins that are 20, 25 years older than me. And so I was the one who had the pleasure of being right there with him because his health had failed him. And so he lived with us. And so I was there with him every day. And so again, that's a big age gap. I'm talking about he was in World War II. So there was a way that he explained things that I got from the time I was born. And so, again, differentiation, I got it from different levels at the same time as a small child. And so one of the things that he would say, because I'm about to say something very controversial, that's why I was laughing.
Okay.
He says that common sense ain't so common. And that's what it is.
Yeah.
This is okay, so I was with a group earlier, and I think I was with the aspiring superintendents, and I reminded them as they get into the job, don't forget that we're in the people business. Mm-hmm. And so with that being said, I had a lot of soft skill building in my family. As you can tell, I'm a very expressive person non-verbally. It's because both of my parents they make faces and laugh and just, they're really expressive people.
Right.
And so, but with my grandfather, at the age that he was, I learned a lot from him. And so what I like to do is just put all of those experiences together and let that make the magic.
Okay. Golly, so as you're coaching leaders and pouring into others, what would you point them to help build those type of skills where you've got to make a decision, everybody wants the immediate results? Yeah. How do they build kind of a radar of understanding through their experience?
Easy. Okay, that's easy. Don't forget that these are people. So with that being said, say if I go into a PLC meeting,
okay,
I'm going to pull all of this data, horizontal data, vertical data, all of the data, right? Mm-hmm. But then at the same time, I have to remember that I'm talking to people. So yes, this data is going to show something, but then what are the exterior factors around said issue? Mm-hmm. What about the societal factors around said issue? What about the eco-dis? What about the demographics? What about, okay, so you took this benchmark test on this day or this universal screener on this day. We had snow that week. Mm-hmm. They had to be home dismissed another day. They probably didn't eat that day.
Yeah.
So they probably did not have 5 full days of meals. Where's the conversation piece with that? Or baby brother got sick, broke his arm, they were at the hospital all night, or anything. Or who's to say that there isn't an illness in the family,
right?
Or depression, or that's the piece, is that as our children, they're facing things that we never faced in the 80s, and they're dealing with it as adults. And so with that being said, their plates are loaded. Mm-hmm. And so what I try to do is I take a soft skill approach. Number one, how are you? I hug everybody in my district.
Yeah, I mean, you're great with people. There is no doubt about that. And so, but I love you explaining the intentionality of it. So let me interrupt you because.
Yes, go ahead.
No, I don't want to. You keep going because I'm excited. I want to hear how you do this intentionally.
Yes. So you make it a part of your daily practice.
Okay.
You do it with the people in central office. You do it with the people on campuses. You follow a routine. You may not use the same path every day, but you follow the same routine. Specifically, if I go onto a campus, sometimes I park on the back, sometimes I park on the front, sometimes I park on the side. But I still use the same mode when I come in. I still use the same attitude. I still greet people. Because at the end of the day, don't forget them.
Yeah.
So what we did recently, and this is so corny, I made a Google form and I stuck the link to my webpage, and I told my people, I said, listen, you may have whatever reason that you want to talk to me about. I don't care what it is. Click the link, fill in your reason. Tell me if you want me to just stop by. Tell me if you want to catch up. Tell me if there's a specific reason that you want to talk about, whether it's a program. Just give me a few little details and let's go.
Mm-hmm.
The first group that filled out the link, and number one, I didn't even know they checked their emails, was the elementary cafeteria ladies. And they clicked that link and they were like, we just want you to stop by. We hadn't seen you in a while. So what did I do? I got there. I went into the kitchen between, breakfast and lunch, and we spent about 15, 20 minutes catching up, talking about the things,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
What are they seeing with the student body? Because again, those are people that you call image makers. Bus drivers, custodians,
100%.
cafeteria
You are
people.
100%.
They see things that nobody else sees. And so they fill my back pocket up with a lot of information, but then they just wanted to talk. Doc, we thought you forgot about us. No, I've been weighed down, but you see I'm here. When did you fill out the form? At about 2:30 yesterday? Yes, about 9 o'clock today. You're a priority.
Yes.
So make them feel important because they are.
Yes. Talk a little bit more. You brought up something that is a blind spot for a lot of school districts. The value of your first line, your first face that a student sees, bus drivers, cafeteria, crossing guard. Talk about the value of that persona in the district.
So number one, we need to invest in those people.
Mm-hmm.
So when a child leaves your house in the morning, in many cases, the first person they're going to see is a bus driver. We need to make sure that that person is girded and supported, because if that person has the wrong face, the wrong mentality, that's how that child starts their day. And for some of our families, it's still dark outside when that kid gets on the bus.
Mm-hmm.
Now, not only is that the first face they see, that's the last face they're going to see. And so what image of yours, it doesn't matter how much money you spent. It doesn't matter how much training you've given your principals and teachers. It doesn't matter how much, if you're capturing kids' hearts or Leader in Me or whatever district you are, if that's what they meet first and last every day, that is the cost of your school. So you wasted all the other money. The character development means nothing because your curbside, your bedside manner is trash. And so we have to make sure to be intentional. Like I said, cafeteria people, custodians, maintenance people, all of them. And most of those people, your more blue collar workers, they just want to be seen.
That's
to
right.
know that they're a part of the team. And that doesn't take much.
Not at all.
That does not take
a little
much.
time, a little investment, a little love.
A high five, a handshake, a wave, or hey, we're thinking about this. What are your thoughts?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you're thinking about us? We sure are.
I love
You're
that.
important too.
2025.
Yes.
Do you make New Year's resolutions?
This is probably the first year in a long time because I don't make resolutions. I normally choose a word of the year type of ordeal. And 2024, my word was embrace.
Okay.
But what I've learned, I said I wasn't going to go into the new year with that attitude. I said, let's just let God do what he does.
Mm-hmm.
So right now I'm in embrace overflow because there are things that are coming to me now that I've never seen before. And when I say that, I know that's very abstract, but I'm learning from my surroundings more about myself. I've practiced stillness more. I meditate more. I spend more quiet time Now I'm focusing more on my temple, because if I'm not healthy, then what? But then outside of that, I'm just learning to gauge, where am I? How do I feel today?
And what prompted that kind of self-reflection and with just health and making sure you're zoned in on your own well-being to be able to serve others? Was there anything that
Yeah, I turned 40. And there are things that hurt now that never hurt before. I didn't know I had some of these muscles.
I didn't know you were gonna hit me with that one. That's
But the next thing is that, if you remember, if we follow the trail of our conversations, there's been a lot of things that have taken place in my district.
yes.
And I realize I'm tired.
Mhm.
And so, but the question is, are you really tired if the hopes and dreams are still at the magnitude that they are? If the dreams and visions still come? Or is it that you're not appropriately allocating your resources? So guess what I do? I ask for help now. I don't have to be the first person there. You do it. Good. You got it. I believe in you. Now come back and talk to me about it later, but I think that you can handle it.
And so, how's it working? Are you? Is it helping? Is it a little anxious because you're having to change some stuff?
I'm not anxious at all. Because I've hit a new level of peace.
Yeah.
And I have been purposely pouring into that for my own self, because, once you turn these ages, you start thinking like, okay, how does this work? And I remember when my parents were 40, but I'm them now. And the buck stops at me. But how do I preserve myself in the meantime? And like I said, through stillness and through some specific practices that I've been putting in place, I am just, how they say, que sera, sera. Like, whatever will be, will be. When it gets here, we'll deal with it. But I just feel whole. And it's like a resurgence, and I'm at peace. I really am.
Well, I mean, that's number one. It feels like you've got a different sense of,
Yes.
and you're always high energy, high enthusiasm, but it's still there. But it's a more focused type of,
Yes.
like, if that makes sense.
Focused and paced and methodical.
Yes.
That's I'm not gonna swing at every fastball that you throw. I'm not gonna do it.
But that is, such a hard thing, especially when you're used to being the face, you're used to being the vision, you're used to being the rallying point.
Yes.
And as much as we love that, the toll that it begins to take cannot be denied.
That's exactly it. You cannot be under the hood and in the driver's seat at the same time.
So then I would imagine that leadership is benefiting from that, because now, like you said, you're empowering.
Go. Don't ask me. Go.
And
you were there when we planned it. Go.
And so initially, how do they receive that? How are the leaders? Is it?
Well, they still try to tiptoe. Hey, look, I was going to. No, take care of it. Or if they send me an email, I don't answer it. And then when they give it to me completed, I was like, that's exactly, even if it's not, that's exactly what I was looking for. Because guess what? In time, are you really a leader if you're not developing leaders?
No. Because if it all falls apart when you walk out of the door,
then I did nothing.
You're right.
But the next piece was this. I promised God that if he allowed me to, I would get in and I would model. And how long does the model process work? Everybody knows how to do everything because I've modeled, I've worked with them, I've one-on-one with them. You got it now. Just bring me the feedback, bring me the data, and we'll talk. If we need to calibrate, you can calibrate with me, but then you got it again. And so with that, you have to think from the mortality standpoint, you know, would I be wonderfully great for 20 years or can I be wonderfully great for 60 years? And
Yeah.
then also once I leave the superintendency, I want to have enough gas in the tank to consult and continue to work with people because what good is the magic if you don't share it?
Yeah. I'm not overly worried about your energy after you decide to to leave the superintendency. I feel confident you're gonna be just fine.
Yeah.
Uh,
But I didn't want to be found
yeah,
slumped over my desk.
yeah, yeah. And it's a real scary proposition and a reality for a lot of folks, a lot of leaders in this role.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right.
And
Something.
speaking of desks, we moved into the new office. We're there now.
Is it nice?
Yes, it's beautiful.
Is it?
It's beautiful.
What's on the horizon? What are we looking forward to? You've always got something going. I know it's consistency, but you got something.
So, we have a few things
I didn't.
we have a few things baking in the oven, right? And so we're working with our congressman now, from Texas House District 1, Nathaniel Moran, and we're discussing some funds and project funds to roll out our CDL driving academy. So that's a big one.
Grow your own.
Grow your own. So I think I talked about last time
I like
that
that.
our Georgia Pacific, our
Yep.
mill, had gone through the $120 million expansion. So what we did was we created a partnership with a CDFI out of Arkansas, and now the congressman's at the table. And then we are with Lamar State College, Port Arthur. And so in my building, actually across from my office, we're turning that into the training facility. And this is adult ed and people 18. So my seniors and the community will come, they will take classes, and then through the partnership with the CDFI, they will build their own small businesses. So a lot of this coaching, a lot of this entrepreneurship, this is all free. And so with that being said, they finish their coursework. We help them achieve their CDL status, their driver's license status. West Sabine is actually one of the driving training facilities. And so we have that ball rolling. So we'll get them certified through the feds, and then we'll get them their CDL, and then we connect them with the people, and then they start their home-based business. They also help with the financing as well. So they'll help them buy trucks. So, with that being said, this is a whole 360-degree approach. And so I'm really tickled about that. We're also working with another college for nursing. And we're kicking off a deal right now with Stephen F. Austin State University so that we can be a satellite hub center for their Carey Center, which is careers and rural research and innovation program. And so they're going to use our center for leadership growth and development, for all of the things that they do across our 12
Right.
county region. And so I'm really tickled about that as well. So those are brand new things that I'm just waiting on the oven to get hot for, and then we'll roll out. Waiting on a lot of applications to come in from grants and so forth. And then once that classroom is done, that's it. We are rolling.
You always got something going. Like I knew there was something I hadn't heard of. So you could eventually, with that training program, that CDL, be a hub for other districts that need.
Yes, we're actually a hub. We'll be a hub for everybody.
Yeah.
With the training that I had to go through, because I'm actually the trainer and I'm passing that on right now. No, anybody needing to get a CDL for anything, they will come to us first.
That's nice.
So even the lumber mill can send people to us, or whomever can send their people to us, and we get them certified and trained.
You always got something going. I love it. I love the creativity, the innovation, and pouring back into your community. Finish this sentence to send us on our way. West Sabine ISD will be what in 2025?
West Sabine ISD will achieve a standard of excellence beyond our wildest imagination in 2025, because we will not only envision, but we will live it. We will be enlightened by it, and we'll pass the torch.
I love it. I'm always inspired when I get some time with you. I always have a good time. I'm always inspired. You always give me some things to take back and start thinking about. I never thought of that. How do you do that? How do you
It's
pull that together?
always fun to be here because it's how you set it up.
Well, I'm genuinely curious about people that are doing things for kids, for the community, that really there's not a playbook for. You got to go make stuff happen.
Yeah.
And that's what we have to do.
So one of the things that we ask our families, because we're a Leader in Me district, and we ask parents, we send out a survey, what are your hopes and dreams for your children? And yes, I have hopes and dreams for my children, but what are my hopes and dreams for myself?
Yeah.
And for my students and for my school and for my community? But then take all of that away, because if you don't focus on the nucleus, how do we get to the next step for everybody else? If I don't advocate for Carnelius, then Cornelius can't advocate for anybody else.
You can't pour into others.
You can't.
That's wise words. Doc, I appreciate it as always.
No, thank y'all for inviting me. I'm excited.
You don't ever have to ask. You show up. We'll find a way. We'll find time, because I have more fun and learn more sitting and talking to you and learning from you. So I'm in debt to you. I appreciate it.
I appreciate you. We're going to seek. We're currently seeking. I want to know, what's next for us.
Gotcha.
Because we want to continue to maintain life and growth. And so I'm seeking now just to see what it is that we need to do next to further, hit those new depths and new heights and just take care of our people.
I love it. You heard it here first. If you like what you heard and saw, like, subscribe. I guarantee you will not be disappointed for checking out Dr. Gilder in West Sabine. He's always creative, innovative, and just a great leader. So thank you for joining the Path Forward. And Doc, thank you for being here.
Hey, thanks again, y'all. I always appreciate it.